some hands raised with questions. I will go with the microphone on this side. Renz will go on the other side. So we'll try to pick up 2-3 questions. And please make them short. Please make them short and collect 2-3.
I'm coming to the last question you have put about the identity and the, let's say, if we understood correctly, the message was that it's not good to, let's say, it's not good to the idea of being something or from somewhere, the idea of identity. I think I don't agree very much with that, because I think the important is that you have your sense of identity. In life you need a sense of identity. If not, you are lost. But the important is that this identity never has to be exclusive, never has to be aggressive to anyone else. I mean, I think it's something complementary. It's not something opposed to one thing to the other. I mean, to feel, to have your identity, what is important is that it has not to drive you or to push you to reject other things. You have to integrate other things, and you have to be integrated, but not renouncing to your identity. I think it's something, not losing the importance of, for you, what is your identity. Identity means culture. It's not a question of feeling Russian or Spanish or Indian. It's a question of culture. It's where you have been born. But this culture has not to be exclusive. I don't know if my English is a bit poor, so maybe I did.
Do you want me to answer to that? Yeah? Shall I answer?
Maybe first we collect another question, and then we step to the answers.
For me, the minute I decide that I am Spanish, means that automatically I am best than anybody else. So, and then I have a hard time accepting critics. If you tell that Spain has a large unemployment figure, like we see yesterday, automatically I react. I want to defend it. It's true. So it's accepted. When you are nobody, like me, you said that you are confused. No, you're not confused. You're nobody. That's it. And I'm very happy. Hard to manipulate, actually. I'm sorry to be so blindly. But if you're not Spanish, you can see things more clear. And plus, what is to be Spanish, for instance? Look, if you look at the statistics, you will see Spanish is Christians. Christians? No. There are many Christians, many Muslims, many atheists, many things. So it's Christians Spanish? Not really. Christians, they go to church Sunday. Well, not necessarily. Let's go to Muslims. Muslims, they don't drink wine. Do they drink wine? Muslims, for instance, do you know that? Muslims drink wine? Yes? They do or they don't? They do. They shouldn't, they do. So, okay, what is a Muslim? Somebody that drinks wine or not? Okay? So this is the thing. So it's not really pure colors in our identity. Realizing that we are a puzzle of identities is when we can, I think, it's not necessarily to feel proud Spanish, you must be, but it's like accepting that you are a puzzle of colors. Sorry that I talk like this, because all I said, it looks like I'm very sure of it, and I am not. Okay? So I would like to talk more humbly. So I would like, sorry. So basically what I would like, I recommend you. I recommend you analyze who you are, and then see that your identity is just a part of it. I go a lot, I was telling our Russian colleague here that I go a lot to Russia for the past 15 years. So I am Russian. I love Russia. And I totally respecting that place, because so I don't want to be Spanish. I am also Russian. And not to mention how deep I feel with Argentinians, because my grandmother was from Argentina, so I like to feel like I'm Argentinian, Russian, Spanish, and this also is not necessarily, as you said, that if you are proud Russian, it gives you strength. To me, no. To me, not being exactly only one color is what it gives me strength. That's basically the idea.
Okay, thank you very much. We have some more questions.
Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Yuan. I'm from Canada, and currently I'm working at the University of Alberta in Edmonton full-time, and previously I worked at University of British Columbia in Vancouver as well. So first of all, I want to make a comment to to Mark. I really like your idea of the new model of not just saying experiential learning, but also saying evaluated learning. I think that's a really good point. I totally agree with you. I think my question is to Sylvia and Jonathan. So for Sylvia, I think my question to you is, it is very impressive that you're doing so many works in social equity, in nonprofit. So my question to you is, what is your motivation of doing all the work? And my question to Jonathan is, I think it's awesome that you're starting your own company, you're doing all the great works, you're pushing the students up to the front line of doing business. My question to you is, for your current company, Education Energy, how do you generate your revenue? Because it is such an important part of running a successful business. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would like to collect one more question, very short one.
Okay. Hi, my name is Chandram. I'm from Kosovo, but some people think that I'm from Albania. I'm a Muslim, but I drink wine. If I go in USA, I say I'm from Kosovo, but they say, where is Kosovo? So I should to say I'm European. Also, but if I go in Neptune, I have to say I'm from Earth. And this lost I like. Thank you. Okay, I have a question for John. First of all, congrats. It was nice. I have some emotion, so I need to wait a little bit. Okay? You really make me think that I should sit my lazy ass to start doing my things that I dream to do, but finally I will do. And I have two questions. The first question is, tell me how to be rich, but let be a secret in this room. Yes. And the second one is, yes, do you think that if everybody will start to create own things, maybe world will be full of useful things that stupid people has created? Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Now this question for Celia and John, so the answers please keep them not too long.
Okay. Answering the question that has been posed to me, I would say that I started working in the field of education almost 10 years ago. Why I did it, basically, it was because I saw that many things were not working the way that not only me I wanted, but a lot of youngsters were wishing to change things. So my path has been the way to make some intervention at active level and to be part of that impact that could have something to give more to the young people. Of course, at education level, because that was my field of studies. And as an educator today, what I can say, why I do this, why I continue to do this, for most probably for a decision to continue to be part of this process of decision making somehow at NGO levels. And on the other side, I can also say that according to what Mr. Bertrand has been said to us, and according to my identity, I will say that I feel myself as a strong person with strong personality, and I really want to have my personal path and have something to give to the others. Sometimes this something has not been given to me, and I would have had that. So that's what I have, this motivation inside of me. But I will remark one thing. I saw a lot of leavers, people that were leaving the field because motivation was decreasing, because somehow we have a lot of targets, we have a lot of objectives, we have a lot of benchmarks, as I said before, but the point is, where are the results? And sometimes the results are not fitting and they're mismatching somehow with what we do expect. So my personal invitation is to support yourselves and to continue doing these things to impact somehow the societies you're living in, which can be Europe, but out of Europe, Kosovo, India, Russia, wherever you are, you can be the impact. So this was my personal motivation according to my identity, but also according to that level of acceptance, of accepting the other cultures that I've met. For example, already, Mr. Bertrand, you have mentioned about Palestine, Israel, the three religions, and so on. I've been volunteering for the United Nations in Palestine 4 years ago, and I have to say it has been hard. It has been hard to make fit these cultures. And so another point of why I do this is because I really strongly reckon that it's not only about my identity, but it's also how my identity can be mixed with the other identities. I know who I am, but I don't know you. And before judging you and creating stereotypes about, okay, someone is drinking too much wine, and I don't know, some other countries are supposed to not do that. But then there is this self-regulation coming that I want to drink wine, so it's self-identity then. It's not regulated anymore from the religion aspect, for example. So when I encounter this my personal path, my personal identity with the person I have in front, then it's where I arrive to the pact level. And most probably to the level that I want to understand the other, to accept the other, to have my personal balance, and to do not break the rules when I enter another country, because it can be also specific situation. And we are seeing what's happening when we are attacking somehow the environment of another country, and it's actually happening with the refugees in Syria, actually, that they are now coming through the Balkan line and reaching Germany because they feel they have a war, and they have a war. But this is another hard topic that we can discuss afterwards. So thanks.
Thanks a lot, Sylvia. Jonathan?
Right on. So, as a consultant, I help universities develop curriculum that help to keep their programs relevant to the 21st century skills and competencies that are needed in the market today. So one of the curriculums that I've developed is being used in different universities, and I help bring that curriculum to different schools. I'm also a professional life coach and business strategist, so I work with people from around the world through Skype or one-on-one and help them get really clear on what it is that they want to create and how to come into deeper alignment with that so that we can really activate those superhuman powers that are innately within inside each and every single one of us, but they're just waiting to be activated. And so that's my passion, and that is my profession. Beyond doing speaking engagements in my book and other projects as well. But to really tap into your own riches, that inner richness that is within each of us, we really have to identify and get super clear on what it is that you want to create and begin exploring various business models and strategies that would be able to resonate with your target audience. And so it's really about connecting and engaging with the people who you feel that you can serve, because each one of us has our own unique story and our own unique purpose on this planet, and it wants to come out of us, and there's a level of fullness that wants to emerge from us, and the only way that we can really bring that forth is by really exploring it and really being able to be willing to go through the rite of passage, which is oftentimes a lot of challenges and a lot of times failure. And I encourage people to fail as soon as possible so that we can learn what doesn't work, so that we can find out what does work. And that's the lean startup methodology. And so there's an idea that they say that there's riches in niches, and in your niche. And so there's this thing right now that's happening called the Great Transition. It is the decentralization of power, the decentralization of energy and of media. And guess what? The same power that the media conglomerates had to be able to communicate to the masses over the years, we now have in the palm of our hands, and we can communicate any message to any market segmentation in the world, and that gives us an incredible power to share our voice with a huge online population that is expected to double by the year 2020, which means that you're going to have an entire world with new technology to be able to communicate your message to your market. And so there's a huge opportunity to be able to share your message. The biggest challenge is to just get really clear on what your message is and start sharing it right meow.
Thank you very much. We didn't give that much time to Mark, so maybe there is one short question for Mark and also a short answer, and then we will have a closing statement of this plenary session from Mr. Yakunin.
Hello, everybody. This is not a question, this is just a short remark that just remind you guys, the youth time, this is the platform for peace, open dialogue, and it not matter what kind of countries you are coming from, what kind of nationality, religion, or identity you are all welcome here.
Thank you very much. I think Mark can confirm this. Maybe you would like to make a comment on education then. So if there is one question related to education to Mark, otherwise we close then the stage. Oh.
Hello, my name is Chiara. I just have a quick question for Mark. Do you get the university and the schools to pay for your services, or it's the government that pays for that? And then just one question for Sylvia as well.
No, just Mark.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, well, in terms of the model of the consultancy, it's different things. We work with different partners because we're small. Our consultancy is a startup. We actually only started in January this year, and this is just an example of when something is actually driven by passion, it takes a form of its own. And what's happened is that in, for example, primary and secondary school training, which I didn't talk about, we work with for example, a big publishing house here in Spain, and we work with a university in England as well. And through them, we reach a lot of schools across Spain. So we're all around Spain. And my wife's here today, actually. She just got back from training teachers in Toledo and Guadalajara and stuff this week, and how to implement project-based learning in the schools. With universities, generally, we've got something here called Fundación Tripartita. It's, a little bit of people's salary goes into a fund for training. And if they don't use it by the end of the year, it goes back into Mr. Rajoy's pocket. So, of course, that's motivation for anybody to use the money. So we work with that as much as possible to try and make sure that training is subsidized and keep it as accessible as possible, So, yeah, I mean, sometimes if it's a private institution, they'll do so, but generally it's through the fund for education that exists as part of everybody's contractual salary. So if that answers your question, yeah.
Thank you very much, Mark. There is a last statement. Mr. Yakunin would like to say something at the end of this plenary session, the future of education, one topic that Youth Time has been discussed extensively in France, in India and other places.
Good morning, everyone. Excuse me, we were a little bit late. I invited my good friend, the owner of Spanish company Talgo, Carlos Palacio de Oriol, and he is today with us. He decided to see what you are doing here. But, dear Joseph, dear friends, you know that my second occupation, and maybe that was, at least now, that is my, number one occupation, is, the reading of the platform Dialogue of Civilizations. If you look into internet or that big volumes, you will never find just one explanation what the civilization means. You will find tens of descriptions. When we are talking about, Joseph, about self-identification, the entire life in nature means to introduce and to get respond. Listen, animals coming to each other to smell, that is identification. We have the possibility to communicate, talking, that is self-identification. Whether you are talking about business, whether you are talking about culture, whether you are talking about friendship, whether you are talking about love. You are introducing yourself and you're getting response. There is nothing wrong about self-identification. Maybe hundreds, thousands of years from now, the mankind will be living in the world where there won't be any border. Maybe they will study not the history of Spanish history or Russian history or European history, but they will just start to learn world history, mankind history. I actually hope some time comes. But today, there is nothing wrong about the fact that I'm Russian and he is Spaniard. There is nothing wrong. But when we met, we were talking technology. We were not talking, nationality. We were talking technology. But when I came first time, I would like to introduce myself and said something about my humble knowledge of the Spanish history. I visited Granada because I wanted to learn more about the history and interaction between, Christian Spanish people and Muslim people who were living there. And that is also identification, nothing wrong about that. But the moment one is saying, I am exclusive, I am the only one who possesses the truth, that is wrong. What is wrong with multiculturalism? And Angela Merkel accepted that. It is not enough just to open the borders and the doors. Please come, everyone, without having any program for adaptation to new reality. People who are coming, they did not know the history, they did not know the tradition. They would like to live like they were supposed to live in their countries, and they were not taught to adopt. That is the value of multiculturalism. That is the value aggravated in Charlie Hebdo. That is the reason. Not the reason that, France today not consists only of French origin people. Listen, in Russia, we have 200 nationalities. We used to have and now have. All Abrahamic religion, all possible confessions. For thousands of years, that was Russians. In terms of understanding of foreigners who were coming there, they were not decided whether it is Russian, whether it is, a person from Tatarstan, Tatar or something. Russians. During the Soviet era, all of us were Russians. There is nothing to be insulted about. But in the circumstances, I would like to point out that self-identification means the possibility, diversity of the world. And the world can exist only because it consists of diversities, differences. That is the rule, that is philosophy, and this is the nature. It is possible to say, I'm a man of the world. Okay, no problem with that. You are like that. But when a baby is being born, right from the first minute of his or her life, it is climbing up to the body of the mother. That is identification. Nothing can be done about that. And that is correct, that is right. To prevent nationalism, to prevent fascism, to prevent this exclusiveness, that is the proper addressing of the aspect of clashes of civilizations. So I could not omit this, Joseph, because it is my major occupation today, and I would like to share that. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I have to say one word because I was caught. One word, please. For me, the idea of maybe we can have a discuss later for lunch. Or
We have coffee
something
break now.
On this topic, probably. Okay, then let's do that. Sorry, I don't want to.
Just, in detail during the coffee break, but just to reply if you.
You want to be rich, you said. Eh? You said that you want to be rich? Okay, then. No, I know. It's a joke, but it's okay. Eh? Because I also, what I like is to make money. That's what I love. Eh? I have many things, but what I like is to make money. Okay, my recommendation. Don't allow ever anybody to classify you geographically. Okay? Never. You will get passports. This is political. As I told you yesterday, I was Spanish. Today I'm Catalan. So it's okay. My passport's still Spanish. I don't care. Don't allow anybody to classify that. That's a main secret I'm telling you if you want to be rich. And then what you will discover, what you will discover on the process. Of course, I have to introduce the people with shaking hands, with a name or something, but I don't care if they pronounce it wrong because my name is Joseph, Jose, Joe, Jay, many times. So, of course, my objective is I don't want to have any of those classification. And then the next step is that I don't care. That's my advice. I don't want to be classified. No, I am not Spanish. I'm not Catalan. And the next step is that I don't care. Because what you said, Vladimir, the children is born, claims to the mommy, and if the mommy is Jewish, you know what the religion of this guy is? Jewish. Somebody decided in Jerusalem, I don't know where, that this is the way it goes. Come on. Come on. The guy will have to decide whatever wants to be, if he wants to be converted or not. But believe me, if you have a son born from a Jewish mother, your son is Jewish. And this is not possible to be changed. Come on, let's be critical, as you said in your speech. Let's be critical. I'm sorry to inform this guy dressed very nicely in disguise with these thick hats and big things, but you're wrong, because the child has the right to decide whatever he wants. That would be an example, a very simple example related to what you said about claiming the body. So you're born in Russia and you have to be Russian. Well, passport, yes. But, you know, I go to Russia so often, I feel so humiliated when I have to ask for invitation visa. A friend of mine, I have to ask, can you give me an invitation letter? And he said, Joseph, I'll send you a love letter, if you want. So I have to be invited. Well, okay, if legally I have to, I'm sorry to inform that yesterday somebody told me about how to get here from Kosovo, and it's a nightmare about visas and things. So you have to do that. But I am Russian. Why do I have to be invited to go to a place that I love? Okay? So, because we have to change all that. How? By not accepting labels and realizing that our identities are not clear. We are not just one thing. We are a puzzle of things. And the more we mix our colors, we are gonna understand the others better. So it's not, I am confused about my identity, and the next step is that I don't care. And that's the step I think is the future coming.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, this was a very intense discussion. I am sure nobody wants to go for a coffee break and to continue.